Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, Attention and ADHD coach Jeff Copper, and today I'm here to talk to you about creative thinking and methodical thinking. Over the years in coaching hundreds of individuals with ADHD, I find that they have a very creative mindset, and as I've studied attention over a period of time, to me there's two very distinct, different thinking methodologies. One is what I call methodical thinking. It's a set number of steps that one would go through to solve a problem. Society really likes methodical thinking because it's very easy to define, print, and execute. An example might be an algebra problem. If you understand the order of operations, multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division, and you understand the rules, then you can execute a algebraic problem with precision every time in basically the same steps. Creative thinking, on the other hand, is very, very different. By definition, it's a trial and error process, and it's really kind of all or nothing. And I think those with ADHD, can be helpful for them to understand these two different thinking methodologies. Often if a person's dealing with a problem that's methodical and or a methodical thinker, imagine that you're working a complex mathematical problem that's got 30 steps, if you will. You might go in and complete maybe 15 of those steps and leave, and then come back. And really, you don't have to go back to the beginning at that point in time. You just, in a sense, have another algebraic problem that's where you left off, and then you just have to complete the additional steps. Creative thinking, or what I call insightful thinking, is a little bit different. It's basically paying attention to things on a trial and error basis, going through a process in hopes that all of a sudden you pay attention to the right thing and it makes some sense. So an example might be a crossword puzzle. You might go in and be solving for one particular line. You're reading the clues and there's a couple letters that are there, and you might think of maybe 15 different words or things that might go in there, and they might not work. If you get up and you go away and you come back, you really have to start over again. It's not like you can really pick up where you left off. And so this process, when you think about it, has a few characteristics that I think that if you have ADHD and you're more of an insightful thinker or more creative thinker, that you can begin to understand. Number one is the creative process. It happens when it happens. You can't necessarily say it's going to take me 5 minutes to come up with a brilliant idea or a brilliant answer. And the second thing is realize that if you're involved in something and you get distracted a lot, oftentimes it feels like you're really kind of starting over. And it can be very, very frustrating. And it's really important that you don't compare yourself or what you're doing or the work that you're doing to somebody who's doing a more methodical job. Just because they can define the parameters and execute it within those set number of steps is more a function of what they're doing, the type of job that they're taking place. But if you have ADHD and you're doing some task that requires some level of creativity, realize is that you really just kind of can't compare those two. If you're interested, there's a video on my website called If Only I Understood Attention, and it's about 30 minutes long, and it's made up of 5 separate videos within it, and it really puts you in some experiences for you to begin to understand attention. And at the end of it, there's a video called The Anatomy of Insightful Thinking, and I actually put you in a simulation and really methodically compare methodical thinking and insightful thinking and draw it out, map it out, so you can begin to understand that process. So I hope if you're listening to this video that this gives you a little bit of insight of the different thinking processes, and if you begin to understand a little bit more, take the pressure off yourself and be able to manage it. So we hope that you found this video insightful. For more insightful videos, subscribe to Attention Talk Video, the channel. There should be a button just kind of below the screen. So we hope you enjoy that tip and catch another episode. Take care.